very sorry about that. Come on. I didn't even put the music on. Damn. Oh, right, music on. Let's go back to Elzabad. So continue after our previous one. Right, so I did a bit of off-stream stuff, and I got most of the where is it? Travel. Got most of the gull mold things. This is the way we need to go. Let me just check my audio. That'll do. This feels really slow, so no. Alright. That'll do. You can listen to What Angels... What is it? What Angels Wake Me. I think this is the way we go. Yeah, it is. Oh. I think I've still only got the Crypt Lurker stuff. Because I can't get the better stuff yet. Oh, can I? Yeah, I can get up there. I'm just going to check something. Should party member portrait at the start thing. That'll do. Do not want that. That can fuck off. Bibs and right. Back to the serious stuff. If only we'd had a chance to talk things over, but now it's too late. Too late by far. Alphina's resolve may be shaken, but he has not forgotten his duty. We have already caused enough harm here. Let's return to the camp before we cause any more. As for those inside the house, we should send someone to take them, someone who isn't us. All we can do for now is make our report to Lucia, and do everything in our power to prevent further tragedy. So let us linger here no longer. Come. All my stuff's repaired, yeah. Mustn't forget to send some of our allies to Tapper's Den. We still owe them for the bottle of ceruleum. Would you mind giving Lucia a full report? Forgive me for saying, but the three of you appear rather drained since your return. Is there what I might do to be of assistance? There's something the matter. The twins look out of sorts, and you two seem a bit off. Treatment of the tempered is proceeding as well as can be expected. If there is anything to report, you'll be sure to know. Though I gather you have a report of your own to deliver. LSA and Alfino tell me they've finished their preliminary search for survivors, but refrained from saying much more than that. Clearly they are reluctant to provide details. May I ask for your account? Thank you for your report. We shall inform the troops of these developments and instruct them to proceed with the utmost caution should they encounter any survivors. Allow me to speak with the ones at the victor's spoils. They may be more willing to listen to a fellow Guardian and accept our offer of assistance. I pray you are right. And though I am loath to burden you any further, should there be any appropriate occasion to speak of Lucia and her sister, please do so. I am sorry to have put you through this. My distress is nothing compared to their suffering. So tell me, what else have we learned? As you may already have heard, we have succeeded in curing the members of the Popularis Maxima identified. They have provided us with some intriguing insights into the current state of Garlemald. The assassination of Emperor Varys was the catalyst for the civil war. Nerva declared his claim to the throne, and his opponents refused to recognize it. Fighting broke out in the capital, where Nerva's 3rd Legion clashed with the 1st. He remained loyal to Varys even after his death. Of course, even Imperial warmongers would balk at the idea of turning their shining city into a battleground, like burning down the wood to spite the wasps. Neither side would be so mad. Unless something or someone inflamed their animosity to such an extent that they could not help but act against their better judgment. It brings to mind the ends at the Gimling Dark, does it not? The Emperor's sudden withdrawal from the front lines specifically. Nerva and his father Titus, Varys' then political rival, took advantage of the rumours that the crowned Prince Xenos had been possessed by a demon. Elidibus, what better way to disparage your enemies than with the truth, or a close enough approximation? Indeed, but their accusations could be substantiated. Many of Titus's followers were silenced before their accusations could be substantiated. Or someone merely stripped of their status, others died under curious circumstances, one after another, suddenly and suspiciously. Again, Elidibus. Like as not, he has a hand in it. No evidence was found to implicate Varys, certainly. Nevertheless, Titus, Nerva, and the Third Legion would have judged it a brazen attempt by the Emperor to get rid of his political enemies. And then, in the midst of the growing turmoil, Varus von Galvus is murdered. And Garlemald's own prodigal son, Gaius von Balthasar, is the named murderer. Shortly thereafter, Nerva claims the right of succession. In response, the First Legion claims the assassination was part of a coup d'etat, orchestrated by Titus and Nerva. So no one is at fault and everyone else is to blame. I should add that both parties received substantial financial backing, presumably to provide them with the means and encouragement to pursue a swift victory, and these contributions came from the selfsame benefactor. I'd heard House Brutus had been filling the Third Legion's coffers, but the first as well? It would seem so. The Popularis determined that the First Legion received funds from a variety of organizations, all had connections to House Brutus. Et tu, Brute. So Fandaniel, in the guise of Asahi, was playing both sides against each other the entire time. The information we gained from my friends does not end there. One night, shortly after fighting broke out, the capital was shaken by an immense tremor. From that point onward, they have no memories, no recollections of any event, including our clash on the Magna Glacies. But when asked about the Imperial Palace and its bizarre transformation, they somehow recall Emperor Varus giving them orders in their dreams. May the Tower of Babel stand as testament to the glory of Garlemald. That sounds awfully familiar. We have something to show you all. Varus spoke to them through this radio. Perhaps it was recording. If not, that would be inexplicable. We are of one mind, then. The aether that permeates the ore used in this device is almost identical to that of the talismans. I see it. While it's likely more coincidence than design, these devices might also ward against a primal's influence. A picture is beginning to form. If the tremor felt throughout Garlemald was a wave of aether emitted by a primal, while those within range would have been tempered, those huddled around a radio, desperate for news concerning the Civil War, would have been spared. No wonder Likinia kept it close. My friends, I must speak to you. A young man was caught trying to steal our supplies. He is a soldier of the Iron Man, we think, but one who has not been made thrall. Thankfully, Magna restrained him before blood was spilled. The stranger is outside, if you wish to ask him questions. I think we do. Who do we have here? Excuse me. All right. Garleans. Traitors to your homeland, have you no shame? I'm Lucia Lunius, a Temple Knight of Ishgard, and you are? Julius Pierre Nobilus, and that's all you invaders will get from me. We are not here to invade Garlemald, far from it. Like you, our allies in Eorzea and the Far East fight in defense for their lives and their loved ones, even as we speak. It is the people of Garlemald who have suffered the most. This we know. And that is why we have come to offer you our aid, that we may unite against our common foe. Whether you believe me or not, those are the facts. Now answer me this. Why would a proud soldier of the Empire be reduced to stealing? The situation must be dire indeed for you to go to such lengths. If it is supplies you seek, we will gladly share ours, or turn a blind eye while you leave with your spoils. I will not negotiate. My commander has determined how to deal with you and yours. If you wish to treat with him, I will take you. But there is, but no more than 3. I don't much like the sound of that, but if we do accept his proposal, I suggest the 2 of us and... Please allow me and Alice to act as envoys. May I ask why? We have seen with our own eyes the hardships the Guardian faced, how their futures and lives might hang in the balance. It is not the warmest invitation, but it's an opportunity to prove our intentions true. Maybe not a chance to make things right, but a chance to make them better. What would your mother say if I let you go by yourselves? So it's me and the twins then. I can see that persuading you otherwise is a lost cause, but you will proceed with utmost care. A couple of children and what? A sellsword? Is this an insult? Not in the least. You will find they are more than qualified to speak on our behalf. There are many dangers on the road ahead. I will need that back. Ori, they were not in the best state of mind to volunteer for this undertaking. But what's done is done. I know you will take good care of them, and yourself, I trust. They are resilient in the face of hardship. You as well. But good intentions and stubborn determination alone will not be enough to bring our mission to a successful conclusion. Be on your guard. Julius Pierre Norbinus. It is unusual for one so young to achieve such a high rank. Very unusual. His uniform identifies him as a member of the 1st Legion, which has a particularly fierce reputation. Whoever his superior may be, I advise you approach them with caution. We captured the boy as he was about to make off with our food. He must be very hungry to take such risks. Maybe we should give him something to eat, reward him for his boldness. Perhaps it is unwise to volunteer for a mission so soon after the previous disaster. Nevertheless, I shall not squander this opportunity. I know. This won't bring back Lucinia or her sister. Taking the same risk, making the same mistakes. It's possible, but better to try than to give up every time. The lowly task of watching over provisions would not normally befit the sun, but these being unusual circumstances, I will let no man take that which is not by rights theirs. Said your farewells, have you? You will be received as invited guests, so I urge you to observe proper social etiquette and conduct yourselves accordingly. Your safe return takes precedence above all else, remember this. Thancred, in particular, will be worried sick if you've gone too long. May the Fury watch over and keep you. Are you and the children ready? I will explain the route once we're outside your camp. If anyone attempts to follow us, we will judge it as an act of hostility. We will not hesitate to take appropriate measures. I would expect nothing less. You have our full cooperation. We will do only as instructed. After all, this is what we've been striving for ever since we arrived. Where do you think the headquarters are? I assume there are a few others beside him and the commander he mentioned. Alright, this is far enough. Listen carefully. We head over that hill, then follow the road until we reach Liminal Station 4. Children in the lead. I want you where I can see you. We do have names, you know. I'm LSA and he's Alphino. And last but not least, there's Pachaka. Chaka, where have I heard that before? No matter, Alphino and LSA will watch the road ahead while we bring up the rear. I wasn't lying about there being many dangers, so you're to run, not saunter, run towards the station. If you even think about going for your weapon, the deal's off. Should any creature bar the way, we'll go around them. Ready to make a dash for the station? Well, this is fun. This must be the road he mentioned. Follow this, it should lead to the station. Not the easiest surface to run on. We'd better not draw attention. That's the station, I presume. That's it. The first stop, that is. Good. It looks like your friends knew better than to follow us. Are these your headquarters? No, we're stopping here so I can check for pursuers. Since it appears you've kept your side of the bargains, we can carry on. North of the station is Regio Domorum, one of the main residential areas, or at least it was. The afflicted roam the street in packs. They'll tear us to shreds given the chance. Keep close and no wandering off, okay? From here, we'll be heading northeast. Keep to the left of the railway. While the route itself is straightforward, getting past the hordes unseen is anything but. Keep your weapons at the ready. They would attack their own countrymen. Aye. They spare their own, but slaughter the rest without hesitation. They will try to avoid detection. The chance of sneaking by completely unnoticed are slim at best. I will lead the way, but in the event we are seen, you're to fight them off. Those two will follow us, provided they can refrain from drawing their weapons. Well, I doubt they would be foolish enough to stab the guide in the back. I will not take that chance. With that said, let's proceed. Okay. I see why your comrades chose you. Ulysses, our contingent has a cure for the afflicted, or tempered as we call them. Your people would need to be taken into custody that we may administer the treatment, but they would eventually regain their sanity. Is that so? For all I know, your treatment will simply force them to forsake one master for another. As far as I and my legion are concerned, they are no longer our people. They're beyond saving. Those who thought differently and tried to reason with them were butchered for their bleeding hearts. Come, we have to keep moving. Assuming that's where we're going. Come on, Nuggy, what are you doing? There we go. That's what I wanted. Looks like we're not being followed. Oh, we will continue onwards. The surest way to limit casualties is to reach our destination without drawing attention to ourselves. Perhaps afterwards we can try and convince Ulysses that the Tempest can be saved. He truly believes there's nothing that we can done. No wonder he isn't afraid to get his hands dirty. I mean what I said. These people only deserve death. I stayed my hand before only out of desire to remain undiscovered. And that is still the higher priority. We should continue to avoid any unnecessary confrontations. Keep following the railway. I'll probably save some of them. Didn't quite twice, 3 times. There we go. They don't look very human anymore. To think they were once ordinary people. Such transformation is likely irreversible. Look at what they've become. Would you still stand there and claim they can be cured? Those exposed to a vast quantity of a primal's aether may suffer severe corruption. Even with treatment, such victims are beyond salvation. Then you admit it. Now that you've seen these monstrosities for yourself, perhaps you will think twice before speaking of a cure. Oh, we get the arrow man. Though I wish there was another way. I thank you for keeping us from harm. Even here in the outskirts, it's plain to see how different Gulmold is compared to the other cities. We're almost there. You have kept your side of the agreement, so I will keep mine. This way. I'm assuming we go down there and to here. This is Tertium, one of Garlemald's largest stations. It now serves as our headquarters. I've already sent the twins ahead. I will be with you soon, so please wait me at the bottom of the stairs. Theodora. She clearly has no intention of speaking with you. Oh. I had no idea they had such expensive structures. I had no idea they had such expensive structures built underground. It's plain to see why they chose this as their base of operations. They could have done a lot worse. Even so, I imagine it's not the easiest place to live. Indeed, and if Ulysses was willing to make the perilous journey to Broken Camp Glass in search of food, their own supplies must be all but exhausted. They may be shielded from the wind and snow, but it's still bitterly cold. Much like Victor's spoils, it must be a constant struggle to keep their people warm. Lower your voices. While you may be here as guests, the others will not take kindly to your presence. My commander is in the locomotive, over there. Decimus. The Aphorite is not responding. Oh. He certainly looks the part. Now comes the true test. I will deal with you in a moment. These are their chosen representatives. Very well. Let's hear what they have to say. I present to you our commander, Lord Quintus von Cinna. Quintus von Cinna, legatus of the First Legion. The First? I had no idea you had survived. We lost our emperor, our city, more than half our troops. For my wounds I may never take the field again. But we survived, aye. In a manner much to your liking, I dare say. We have no intention of adding to your misfortunes, nor do we bear you any ill will. Spare me, though you children may speak in earnest. Overtures of peace ever ring hollow in my ears. So long as man stands to profit from his neighbour's suffering, war is inevitable. Driven from our ancestral home into this blasted waste, yet you still yearned to rob us of our paltry scraps. It was only with Magitech that you learned to keep your distance, though we knew it was only a matter of time before you regrouped and returned. Conquest and empire were our only defences. Emperors Solus and Varus understood this, and through their campaigns saw us grow and prosper. Much blood has been spilled in Garlemald's name, aye. But if it's a choice between yours and mine, then it's hardly a choice at all. I do not deny that a great many conflicts throughout history were driven by the desire, or necessity, to gain from another's loss. That is not why we are here. Nor have we come to petition your aid in the war with the Telephoroi, grave though the threat may be. Our only purpose is this. We wish to help you. Let us help you. If there is aught that can be done to ease your plight, we would be glad to do it. Perhaps you would. But regardless of the ideals you espouse, your leaders would not send an army into Garlemald if they did not stand to benefit. If we accept their aid, they will expect their efforts to be rewarded once the Telephoroi are no longer a threat. And after compensation and concessions, the great empire would be brought to heel. Our enemies rejoice at her downfall, our third eye a mark of shame. We won't stand idly by and let your people be humiliated. We're not alone in that. We only want to make a difference, to make this world of ours better. Surely you can understand that. What I'm trying to say is, there are so many people who don't care about making you suffer. Maybe that's insulting after all the suffering you feel. Who just don't care about making you suffer. And maybe that's almost insulting after the suffering you feel the world has subjected your people to, but believe it or not, that's the truth. And we're here. And all we're asking is for you to tell us what you want, what you hope for. So much blood has been shed, so much lost. All because of this endless war. Who wouldn't want to end it? Can we not work together to face our problems as one? Answer me this, young peacemakers. If a world without conflict is what you desire, why reject the unity and prosperity of Garlemald? Is it because we do not share your faith? That we do not share your heritage? That our ideas and virtues differ? That we cherish and hold in the highest that you which do not? Disparity is the root of discord, and peace built on compromise is flawed and fleeting. Happiness for one and all is a dream, and that the reality is that to the victors go to the spoils. That is why we Guardians will never submit nor surrender. For freedom and pride, we will remain true to ourselves until the bitter end. That is my hope. It seems there's nothing more to say on the matter. You will remain here until I decide what is to be done with you. Do not be alarmed. No harm will come to you if you cooperate. We will not resist. However, as your guests, I ask that we be allowed to speak with the other members of your group. As you wish. I have no intention of locking you up, as by dawn you would be frozen stiff, and you are no good to me dead. You are free to move about the encampment, but there is one condition. Collar them. What are these? Incentive. You will be watched at all times. Stray too far or act suspiciously and will administer a rather painful shock. Stop. Keep away from that one. The champion of Eorzea is not so easily cowed. Even if she allowed herself to be collared, the shock would be no more than an itch. No, if she refuses to obey, we will activate the twins' restraints instead. You needn't worry about us. We'll forget we're even wearing them soon enough. Even now, you still... Why go to such lengths? What is it all for? Because even the most bitter adversary may one day see reason. On the coldest, blackest of nights, meagre though it may be, we must share the warmth of our fire. You are a curious one. A far cry from the merciless barbarians I will paint you to be. You will be their warden. Take them away. I have to remind myself not to touch it, even if it starts to itch. I'd rather not set it off by accident. Anyway, enough of that. Let's learn what we can from the refugees. It will take more than a trifle such as this to deter us. Compared to what Garlemald people have suffered in recent days, these collars are a minor inconvenience. As per Lord Quintus's instructions, I am to supervise you during your time here in Tertium. Before you could ask, no, I don't have a key or any other means to remove your collars, nor would I tell you if I did, and if you try anything, you'll soon wish you hadn't. So, do you truly intend to speak with the others, or was that merely a ruse? We're in no hurry to disobey Lord Quintus, if that's what you mean. Or perhaps you doubt the wisdom of his decision. Do as you will, but remember, I'll be watching. If I catch wind of you doing anything untoward, trying to trick our people into turning their coats and the like, those shock collars will be the least of your worries, understood? Though we're somewhat compromised, to put it lightly, let's not waste this opportunity. I suggest splitting up and learning what we can of the situation, and above all else, don't use magics of any sort. You, on the other hand, may go wheresoever you wish, even outside the camp. I know full well I couldn't stop you if I tried. But do not forget, if you do anything to endanger us or our interests, Alpha No and Alsa will pay the price. It's you, Checker Shemazen. I served under Lord Gaius in the 14th Legion. I was there on the night the Praetorium fell. You and your adventurers, you killed them. My comrades, my friends, swept them aside in their dozens, as though they were nothing to you. Maybe I am too, just another faceless enemy to be cut down. But it won't be long until our countrymen return. Until you get what you deserve, mark my words. You came with Eulus, didn't you? Well, whatever business brought you here, you best keep your hands off that aetheryte. It's deactivated, but I'd rather you didn't mess around with it. There are others throughout the city built by Garleans for Garleans. Could teleport all over in the blink of an eye, provided there was a terminal nearby. But these days, however, we use the aetheryte's power to keep this place lit, though that comes at the cost of its normal function. The radio is the same model as the one used at Victor's spoils. Perhaps it is what saved the soldiers from being tempered. I know who you are, the so-called champion of Eorzea. Come to gloat, have you? I'll wipe that smirk off your face. By the blood of our fallen comrades, I swear I'll... Ugh. Damn, tore the sutures. Of all the times, the worst of the lot within striking distance, and I can't even muster the strength. If it weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be... If it weren't for the third bleeding us, we'd be the end of you. Vergilia's treachery nearly cost Lord Quintus's life, but we made our escape, took shelter in a mansion, tended to the wounded as we prepared to strike back, and then night fell, and we gathered around the radio. And then the roar. The terrible roar. The capital was in chaos, but we were spared. If you can call this mercy, mind intact but body broken, a soldier in name alone. I'd cut you down where you stand if I could, murderer. This is awful. So cold. I probably hasn't had a proper meal in days. If only we brought some food with us, but perhaps I could use a little magic too. No, I mustn't. Gods, this is so frustrating. Tell me, where does it hurt? Is there all we may do to ease your woes? There's one. That's the last one. So cold. The young soldier is on the verge of losing consciousness. Did you learn anything of note? Their findings are consistent with my own. Their plight is desperate indeed. The sick and injured are at a great risk. Without warmth and proper nutrition, I fear they will soon perish. I realize there is precious little we can do for them at present, but I cannot bear to see them suffer. Please, will you help me tend to them? Who's there? My eyes, I can't see that well. Ah, thank you. The numbness has subsided a little. But I know I won't last much longer. You should look to the others who can still fight. Give them my ration. If me going hungry means someone else lives to see another day, so be it. At least I can still serve in that way. You can walk through here. So those you met fare no better. I was afraid you would say that. I know we were warned against meddling in their affairs, but we can't leave them like this. Perhaps we could gain permission to have the contingent deliver supplies. Quintus may have made his feelings on the matter quite clear, but even he must recognize they're in no position to refuse help. Maybe Eulus can persuade him, though we'd need to persuade Eulus first. Well, seen enough? Eulus, the people here have barely enough food and fuel to survive. Have you and the other soldiers been able to procure any more supplies? We've been scavenging provisions from the nearby houses, as most families kept some stored away in the event they were snowed in. Still, going out and getting it is dangerous work, and we've lots of mouths to feed. Fuel is the greater concern, though. We had some ceruleum set aside until it was stolen. We haven't identified the culprit. Could have been other refugees, or one of the afflicted, for all we know. Either way, we're down to the last dregs. Without the heating they need, those in poor health are only going to get worse instead of better. If it's ceruleum you need, our contingent has secured a ready supply. We can have some sent over. We will not accept your charity. If we can hold on a little longer, the situation is sure to change. Aye, everything will change. One of your comrades mentioned something along those lines. He's a mysterious countryman of yours, I assume. Heard something of it, have you? Well, from what I've seen, there's little you could do to interfere, so there's no harm in telling you. One of our scouts spotted a hooded man issuing instructions to the inflicted, or in the bastard's words, loyal servants of the Telophroi. Then he made his way inside the Imperial Palace, or what stands in its place. We'd identified the seat of the enemy's power, we realised. Lord Quintus dispatched a messenger to the 10th Legion, saying as much, and instructing them to join forces with the provincial legions to prepare for a combined assault on the Telophroi. Once our allies arrive, your contingent will be sent running for the hills. Then we shall reclaim the capital by our own hand. And how do you intend to survive in the meantime? At this rate, many of your countrymen will perish long before reinforcements reach Garlemald. They need help now. Say the word, and we will bring you ceruleum. I will speak with Lord Quintus. So, did he agree to it? No, didn't think he would. No, he will not place Garlemald in the debt of her enemies. I have, however, been ordered to search for ceruleum outside. As you are under my watch, you will come with me. Very well. After all, many hands make light work. You lot are more trouble than you're worth. Once we're outside, you will follow my instructions to the letter. We depart shortly. I think I'm going to call the stream there. I wasn't going to stream very much anyway. Alright. Well, have a good evening. Have a good afternoon, guys. Goodbye.